Hello everyone, welcome to the part 2 of eye drawing and painting tutorial. In the last video we have learned how to draw and paint iris and pupil. In this video we're going to talk about different shapes of eyes, how to paint eyelids, how to paint sclera, eyelash and eyebrows. So let's get into the video. First, we're going to take a look at the shape of the eyes. We need to follow a very simple strategy, that is, one circle and three lines. First, we need to draw a circle, of course, and then cut two parts of it just below the top and make it almost same leveled. Then draw two lines coming from those cut we made and then connect the two lines like a triangle. The length of the two lines are going to be more or less same. Now we're going to follow these lines and make curvy lines out of it to draw the shape of the eye. Now we're going to look at some different shapes of eyes. First, the droopy eyes. In this case, the cut is going to be differently leveled. The second cut is going to go below the first cut, and we will follow the same strategy here. Now for a sharper looking eyes, we need to do just the opposite of the droopy eyes. In this time, the second cut is going to go above the first cut. Now we will take a look at monolid eye style. In this case, we're going to follow the same procedure like the first one. The two cuts will be at same level, but the ending line is going to be longer than the line that is starting. This is going to give you the almond shape of the eye. This is another variation that looks even sharper. Actually, there are more shapes of eyes than this. If you are interested, let me know, then I will make another video about the eye shapes. Once again, the basic strategy is to draw a circle, then make two cuts and draw three lines that kind of looks like triangle. We already have our iris from the last video, so now we're going to draw the shape just like the way I described right now. Now, according to the light source, we're going to paint the skin. Area near the tear gland would be darker, and the ending of the eye is going to be lighter in color. The small area surrounding the tear gland will be lighter because it's curved and the light reflects on it. Take another layer above it, and to give finer details like the fold of the upper eyelid or some creases down lower eyelid, we're going to do it using pen fade. Go back to the first layer once again and use pen fade brush to define the light and the shadow. Use airbrush again to give a darker shadow around the upper eyelid to give it some value. We will take a new layer to paint the sclera. First, we are going to choose a desaturated light blue color for the base. The area that is far away from the light source is going to be darker. That is why we're going to select that part and decrease the brightness. Our tear gland is usually reddish or pinkish or dark brown in color. So keeping that in mind, we're going to take a reddish color which is not too saturated or too desaturated and use it for the tear gland. The blood vessels usually gives a slight reddish aura in the sclera. That's why we can add a little bit of red color over the blue part. Now we're going to give some defining features, and in order to do that we need another layer. First we're going to decrease the size of the brush because we're going to go for finer details. The tear gland of course looks watery or a bit teary and there's some reflection going on. So we are going to add some lighter color to show that reflection, almost close to white. You can actually use white for it, but very tiny amount. Also, where the tear gland ends and the sclera starts, there is going to be a darker shadow because of the curve. Before starting to paint the eyelashes, very important details. We need to first turn on the force fed, then make sure the length of the end is 100 and the length of the start is 0. And also in the custom brush settings, we need to make sure that the thickness of the end is 0. We're going to get this kind of line that starts with thicker line and ends with thinner line, and that is what we're going to achieve. Now it's time to paint. One important thing, that is patience. Please be patient. This is something that does not work very quickly. So if it looks bad, please don't give up. Please keep trying until and unless you are satisfied. So yes, please be patient. And another thing is, draw one eyelash in one go. Please do not overdo. One stroke in one go. Now the same way we are going to paint the eyelashes on the lower eyelid. Now go back to the first layer. We are going to paint the waterline, which is the thin area between the eyelashes and the sclera. This waterline is slightly pink in color and there is a little hint of white. The white represents the watery part, like the name suggests, waterline. Time for super minute detail. That is the very thin blood vessels that are visible inside the sclera. You don't usually need to do it, but if you want to go all out like me, then you can do it. I am going to add some more shadow just below the eyelashes in case of the sclera part, and of course inside the iris as well. If you watched the previous video, you would know that is because the shadow of the eyelashes and the eyelid . Finally, it's time for the eyebrows. We're going to go to the line art layer once again and turn it on. We are going to turn on the force fed. It's going to be same as the previous settings. Give a natural eyebrow shape. If you are not happy with it, you can always change the shape. I use perspective form to change it, and also the mesh form. They are very useful tool to readjust the shape of anything. The strokes are going to be one directional. It's going to start from down towards up because the down part is thicker. Time for shading the skin one last time. Now we're going to go back to the first layer once again and give darker shadow just under the eyebrows. We are almost at the end of the video. I hope you could learn something from this tutorial, and please let me know your feedbacks and opinions, and I hope this upgraded version of the tutorial helped you better. Thank you for watching the video, and I'll see you next week.